Yeah. All crooked over.
Alright, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name is Mark.
I'm Clayton.
I'm Dusty.
And this is...
What is the Long Way Home?
Long Way Home, yeah. I think that's a pretty good name.
Yeah, it comes from a Bloodhound Gang song.
Oh, great.
Want to just get right into it, or you want to bullshit for a little bit?
What do you think, Clayton? Just put you on the fucking spot.
I don't care. I mean, whatever.
We've been pretty excited about
All
this
right.
movie, so I guess we just get into
We're
it.
just gonna get into it.
I want you to say, I know for a fact that you have... Like, he took notes on this.
I know, right?
Like, I know you have some, like, wild ideas about this, so let's save them.
Okay.
Okay? Because if we open with that, I'm not going to be able to top that. I don't want to follow fucking Chris Rock. So, we watched a movie called The Stupids, which came out, I think, in 1995.
Or 96.
Or 96. It's a outlandish, I would say, full-blown comedy, directed by John Landis, which that's what got my attention first about this. Has he ever directed a comedy movie?
He did the Blues Brothers, didn't he?
Did he direct that one? Okay.
Yeah.
I know he liked
I
comedy,
think so.
but did he do probably just the first one? I think the second one everyone hated. Blues Brothers 2000.
He made,
I can't even remember that one.
I believe he made the famously bad Mac and Me movie as well.
Oh, yeah?
Hmm.
He's made some other stuff.
He's made some stinkers.
I didn't realize that's who directed this.
But this movie was very enjoyable. I noticed probably about 30 minutes in, 45 minutes in, that I actually had seen this movie. I thought I hadn't until there were just some things that caught my attention. I was like, oh yeah, wait, I have seen this. So it was pretty good. I liked it. It was enjoyable. It's insane. The story is insane.
I thought it was notable that it just got right to it. It did not introduce the characters at all.
Yeah.
It didn't set anything up.
Why are they stupid?
Nothing.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, what are you, stupid? Doesn't. Yeah.
By the way, John Landis made
A lot of stuff.
Animal House, American Werewolf in London, Trading Places, Three Amigos, Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop 3, and he also made Michael Jackson's videos for Thriller and Black or White.
You see, folks, you would think I should be embarrassed because you have a podcast about this. Maybe you're teaching. No, I'm here to learn. I didn't realize he directed Animal House.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking great. I knew about Thriller. I saw a whole thing about it. That video scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Like, the first time I see it, I was like 6, and I was like, Jesus. So starring Tom Arnold, Jessica Lundy, who I forgot about. I think she's quite a looker.
Mm-hmm.
She pulled off that look.
Yeah.
They're dressed like, Tom Arnold is dressed like he's in a barbershop quartet.
Yep.
Yeah.
With this stupid hat on.
1920s.
Inexplicably.
Yeah. She looks like Mary Tyler Moore, housewife.
Yeah.
And then these two kids, one of them, Bug Hall, of course, from Little Rascals.
Oh, Alfalfa.
Alfalfa. And the girl I didn't recognize.
She
sister.
hasn't done a lot of live action stuff since The Stupids. That is anything that we would recognize. But she did voice and do the mocap for Sadie Adler in Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's really cool.
Oh, yeah. That's who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
That's really cool. I like that. That's a great. I like that character. I wouldn't mind if the third one was about her, personally, but I don't think they're gonna. Rockstar's gonna eventually have to do something other than Red Dead and GTA.
Right?
Like,
Do they though?
I don't know.
Well, GTA
They made
6 is
so
the
much
only thing
money
I'm
on
kind of
5.
excited about right now. They made so much money on 5. They spent billions of dollars on GTA 6.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
That
for
is
sure.
crazy. They probably saved a lot on marketing because all you have to do is put a tweet out. With the trailer, and then everyone goes nuts. It kind of does it itself.
And apparently they released that because someone else was threatening to release it as like
Yeah.
extortion.
So it is a fucking.
So
it's
they
like 2
just
or 3
said,
weeks
"Fuck
already?
it."
heard they gave the hacker life in prison. Like a hospital prison's what they called it, which I thought was weird. It's like, what is that? 18 years old, man.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah,
I think the CIA is probably
trailer's
gonna,
badass though.
CIA is probably going to wait for him to agree to work for them before he gets out of there.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer was badass. I didn't even care there was no like gameplay. I was like,
Yeah.
this just looks great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the stupids.
The Tupids.
Do you let's maybe just kind of go through the plot a little bit, or it's about this family who kind of
they accidentally.
It's about a group of underdogs that save the world by chance.
By chance, are they even necessarily aware
I don't think
of
so.
the arms deal at any time?
It doesn't seem like it, yeah.
Because
It
the
didn't
whole,
seem like
the
it.
whole
I
thing
couldn't pick that up.
is
Yeah.
that Tom Arnold, Stanley Stupid,
Which is a hilarious name. His name is Stanley Stupid.
and so
So dumb. So
It's so
dumb.
stupid.
I wanted to mention this too, that none of the characters they don't play it like it's a comedy movie necessarily.
Yeah, it's pretty straight.
Every character calls him Stanley Stupid straight to his face, like it's the most normal thing in the world.
Yeah. He's like, yes.
So basically, Stanley thinks that the daily garbage pickup is a nefarious plot to steal his garbage.
Yeah, like they're stealing his trash.
And the reason he thinks this is because he used to be a racist mailman and didn't know what return to sender meant. So every letter that said return to sender, he thought it was part of some vast conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
And now he thinks that that's what the garbage thing is. And Mr. Cinder is... Who's Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee is in this movie.
So there is a real hell and a devil, I'm assuming, who's played by Christopher Lee in this movie. Like that, it's like this scene. There's no like real reason, I guess, why it has to be like real. I don't know. I just thought that was funny.
That's Stanley Stupid's imagination.
I thought that
That's
too.
him explaining that to his children.
Because the thing that made me think that this may have been in someone's head was that there's live action stuff going on that is like cartoonish. Like when the kid pulls the telephone pole down and it hits the two guys on the head and they go in the dirt.
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit. I was like, what the fuck?
It's like
So it did make me think maybe someone's imagining, like probably
yeah.
Stanley, but like I said,
And also,
because it just kicks off at the beginning, you don't fucking know.
No, I think that's the whole point.
Yeah.
it does begin with Stanley and Joan
Mm-hmm.
in bed.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps
maybe
it
it's
is
That's
a
true.
dream.
Maybe it's a dream. Yeah.
But
right,
that's
I didn't
you know
think
that's
about
always
that.
that's an easy cop out for movies.
Yes. I hope that wasn't intentional.
The musical scenes in the movie are diegetic as well, meaning that it happens within the reality of the movie.
Yeah.
Because anytime there's like a dun dun dun, the characters look around.
Yeah.
So
There's 3 fourth wall breaks.
is there?
Tom Arnold looks at the camera twice, and then the mom and the 2 kids look at the camera. when
Okay.
they scream at some point.
I didn't pick up on those.
I remember one of them.
Yeah.
But I watched it in bed, so.
Oh, and then
it made me kind of think, like, are they self-aware?
right,
But, you know.
and he follows the garbage truck on rollerblades because it has 8 wheels, so he can go even faster. He follows it to the city dump, and just happens to stumble upon some rogue army guys selling arms to what's supposed to be heads of state, but I have a note here that says, why do the gun buyers look like street level criminals?
Mm-hmm.
They're all in like, wide collared shirts.
They might not have been.
with like
Yeah.
ponytails and sunglasses
Yeah.
instead of like, looking like a politician.
Yeah.
Like, so even that's kind of funny, like, because what are they going for with that?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to steal the government's weapons and go rogue to sell them, surely you would sell them to people we're selling them to?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Really. They also have a dog and a cat that are obviously animated, and it looked like CGI made to look like stop motion or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what that was about either. Why they look like that.
I don't know.
It was weird. Like,
yeah.
I
That was
think
one of those weird parts. I'm like,
it's inexplicable.
Yeah.
This movie.
Again,
I don't
makes
think
you
you
go
can
back
make
to the
sense of that.
yeah. It makes you go back to the imagination thing. It's just him thinking of shit.
And because also the animals are smart, they can communicate.
You're smarter than them.
They know what's going on.
Yeah. It's unreal, man. There was one joke in there that this movie didn't make me like laugh very much, but it made me go, huh. Like, oh, okay, good one. But there were a few jokes that really got me. There was a good take on the "Don't Call Me Shirley" joke.
Yes.
When they were at the Chinese restaurant, the two kids, and can I recommend the cashew chicken? And she was like, "Oh, you'll get your cash after we find our parents." Like, yeah, don't call us chicken.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, cashew chicken." I was like, "That's a bar." I was like, "That's fucking like good rap line." I also thought that was pretty clever. I like that one.
One that I liked, in a similar vein, is towards the end when Petunia and Stanley are in the auditorium or the Star Place.
Petunia, that's her name. Yeah.
The planetarium.
Yes. Yeah.
Talking to the janitor.
And they stumble upon Ross and Rachel having sex for the first time. It was so cute. Oh, wait. Sorry.
But the janitor's name is Lloyd.
Yeah.
They think they're dead because they can't see because it's dark, and then the stars come on, and they think they're dead and in heaven.
Which is funny.
And so Lloyd, the janitor, comes up and they say, "Oh, Lord," and he says, "No, it's Lloyd." Yeah. And so for the rest of the movie, they're saying in the name of the Lloyd.
That's very funny.
And I think it's great.
On the filmmaking aspect, I felt like every shot of Lloyd was a green screen with stars behind him.
Absolutely.
I was like, he's not there.
No, they were not on the same set.
The girl was there because she appeared with him.
Right.
I was like, oh, him and Tom never even really...
Probably not.
I never even thought about
And also, because of Lloyd, always pick up your gum. They think that that's God's big message, is to always pick up gum. So then later, Stanley sees someone spit some gum out of his mouth onto the floor, screams in the name of the Lloyd, and then instead of picking the gum up, he just dives through a window.
That was one of the laughs that got me. That was very funny.
Another one that made me laugh out loud was Tom Arnold in the inner tube from the tire.
Yeah.
In the garbage dump, flailing around like he's being attacked by bees. It was pretty good.
Very good. I think Tom Arnold was very funny.
I do too.
Yeah.
I know.
Watching this, I will say, about at that time, I remember thinking I would have loved to have seen Chris Farley play Stanley Stupid.
Yes.
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Farley would have been a
Yeah,
great
that would
Stanley
have been
Stupid.
pretty good.
Great.
He could have brought a serious intensity to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think.
Because he could actually act pretty well.
Yeah, totally.
That would have been pretty crazy.
When you're watching Tom Arnold, you're pretty much just watching someone not do cocaine.
I don't know, he might have
while
been there
ago.
in 1995.
Yeah, 95, he probably was a little tooted up on set.
Yeah.
He's just always fucking... John was like, dude, he's an animal. It's so funny.
I just remember him being Roseanne's friend's
Yeah,
like
the show.
husband on the show.
On the show, yeah.
Yeah,
And
they
then
were always
finding
playing
out
poker.
that him and Roseanne were actually married in real life.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I love Roseanne. That show, I watched it when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, they're like my family.
My family.
Yeah, it's like
totally.
it's so normal. You
The
know?
original run was awesome.
Yeah, for
Dan
sure.
Connor, I think, is probably the best TV dad. Maybe the most underrated.
Yeah.
I fucking love John Goodman, man.
Yeah,
He's
I loved-
great cat. Laurie Metcalf,
Yeah, Laurie Metcalf is
amazing.
great. I love
Really great
seeing
show.
John Goodman pop up and stuff to this day.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a huge fan of his, man.
And he's also really good at being just a terrifying motherfucker.
Yeah, you can turn it on, man. I love those episodes. He was like fighting people and shit.
Yeah.
So cool. Big Daddy Dan coming in with his flannel.
What are some other notes I have? They don't know what garbage pickup is, but are aware of how to use a computer and what the internet is in 1995.
That's crazy.
That's a good point.
I didn't know about that either.
That's a good point. that feels like almost like an oversight to me.
Yeah.
The writing.
They don't use anything correctly or really grasp like its purpose, but they know what it is and they know how to type on a keyboard.
Yeah. There may be an argument that maybe his name should be Stanley Savant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not useless. Like they're not. They can do certain things. They can navigate. And to me, it seemed like they were kind of Forrest Gumping their way through the movie. Like they would just exist, and all this amazing shit would happen around them. You know.
That's why the biggest note I have is are these people aliens? Which I was
man.
almost sure that they were until actual aliens appeared in the movie.
Right.
It's like boneheads type shit.
And they looked pretty cool.
They did look cool.
It was practical, make it look good. I mean, that's such a John Landis, you know.
Yeah.
He's big on that shit.
In the Rick and Morty episode where they go and party with the alien executives and they snort the crystals and save Earth, the aliens look like that. Like the giant noses.
The big coat noses.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, they had a cool look to them. The eyes. It all looked great. It was really fluid motion.
And then, towards the end of the movie, when everything has been wrapped up, I said to myself, are they just not going to mention the aliens ever again?
I was curious too.
And then they appeared.
And they beamed down.
And were accidentally dealt with.
Yeah.
Through incompetence again.
Right.
That's the whole theme of the movie.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
As a movie, like the pacing and the tone and stuff, it's great.
I was entertained the whole time.
Hour and a half. Oh, the pacing was really good.
Yeah, I did too.
Keeps you.
I don't appreciate like a solid 6 minutes of credits and nothing but credits at the beginning of a movie.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we live in a time when it's easy enough to fast forward through that stuff.
Right.
That's pretty. Yeah, you don't see that very much anymore.
If they made that movie today, it would be 2.5 hours. Like, they make movies so long now. Dude.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. I'm there.
Oh, God.
That's
They do
great.
make some movies long now.
That's why I haven't watched the Batman yet. Dude, like, I have over
the
3
Batman's
hours.
pretty good. It's pretty
I'm
intense
sure it's
the whole
good,
time.
Yeah.
It does have 2 endings, like 2 climaxes, which is always not great for pacing.
Yeah. Is that why maybe it's so long?
Yeah.
It probably adds 20
Jesus.
minutes, I would say.
And the Penguin's getting a spinoff? Is he getting his own?
Yeah, like a TV
A
show.
TV show.
A TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it was fucking Colin
I
Farrell.
know you can't tell for a while.
It's the only detective Batman I've ever seen in anything besides the cartoons. He does
really?
detective work
Oh,
and
cool.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not just like action bullshit? It's
No.
actually
No.
It's,
Okay, well that's cool. It's just so long.
It is.
3 hours is... whatever. I'll watch.
I went to the drive-in to see that movie though.
Oh, did you?
And that kind of...
That's cool.
It added to the experience of it.
Yeah.
The actual movie watching experience was shit.
Yeah.
Because the movie is so dark that you couldn't make anything out on the outside screen, and the sound coming through like our little AM FM radio that we had was shit, you know, but drive-ins are always fun anyway, like no matter what.
Yeah, if you really want to go watch a film, you're probably going to go to the drive-in. If I really want to watch a film, I like to do it at home.
Getting back to the stupids.
Yeah.
The mom, Joan, decides that calling 911 isn't good enough because she thinks the cops are in on this grand experience. But, so she just makes up a number. So I have 74,90611 is what that's the number she says she's gonna call.
I thought that was weird.
And so that ends up being to some pizza place or deli or something.
Yeah, Floyd's, I think, right?
Floyd's Deli, yeah. Different from Lloyd.
Yeah.
Floyd and Lloyd. That's my grandpa and my great uncle.
That's cool.
So weird.
That's weird.
I never thought about it.
But this guy on the other end of the phone is like, oh, your mom, and like, you've had a busy day and you don't want to fuck with dinner, I got you. And she's like, thank you. And he says, do you like coleslaw? And she's like, yeah. And then gets off the phone and she's like, that's weird that he wanted, like, what does coleslaw have to do with anything? What does anything that has happened have to do with anything?
That's the question.
Why is coleslaw weird in this situation?
Right, yeah.
She shouldn't be surprised if the guy comes in wearing coleslaw on his head.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's a good point. That is the question you had there, yeah. The movie is crazy, man.
My notes are basically just the things that baffled me about the movie.
Yeah.
It just feels like you wrote down random thoughts, but that's the movie.
But this is it.
Yeah. That's it.
That's the movie.
The he's a racist mailman thing is because he used to be
Yeah, why
door-to-door
why
mailman.
Racist? I didn't pick up on
Because
that.
he has a letter that has some form of East Asian calligraphy on it, and he just hands it to the
that's
first
right.
Asian person he sees on the side of the road.
Okay.
I forgot about that, dude. That is very funny. I completely forgot about that, yeah. Because the guy was just like, I'm Korean. Like,
It was 3, like, schoolgirls.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that is fucking really funny. There's some good gags in there. Some of it is just, like, so stupid it's a little annoying. Like, he didn't really get a laugh out of me. I was just like, God. Like, you know, it just kind of made you roll your eyes a little bit.
Things like the kid walking the fish in the morning, stuff like that. Yeah, it's like come on.
Like, that's what made me kind of go, was this kind of for kids, too? I feel like we're really overthinking this, which is hilarious.
But are we, though?
It reminds me of like that Beverly Hillbillies movie from back then. It's like just, it could be for kids or adults.
This isn't something that people just threw together without caring, is my main point. There was thought put into this. And it's a well-made, like, generally well-acted film.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like something that was just crapped out cynically.
Yeah. I mean, there's millions of dollars spent on making that movie.
And John Landis, with his track record of iconic comedy movies,
which I knew all about.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would he make this?
Yeah.
Maybe it was miscast. I don't know. Who knows?
It was kind of like to me. If there were if Dumb and Dumber didn't exist, I probably would have thought this was a lot funnier. But like that kind of stupid humor,
or like
was
Ace Ventura
done so
or
well.
something like that. Yeah,
with that kind of shit, it's
it's very close to a live action Family Guy.
Yeah, I could kind of see that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Their house was kind of like cartoonish too. Like the designs of picture frames and stuff.
Yeah,
it was real brightly colored.
And that's
weird,
another. Yeah. How did these people grow into adulthood, reproduce, have a job good enough to buy a pretty decent house?
I was really.
They have 2 cars in their garage. He wears a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the good thing is, after the first act, I stopped caring.
Yeah.
The story was so crazy.
You can't care at that point, or the movie would be really bad to watch.
Yeah.
And there were 2 things. The way the movie just suddenly begins with him going, "They stole our garbage again." It's the first word spoken.
Yeah.
Someone stole our garbage again.
Again, yeah. That's a joke in itself, yeah.
And then, when he gives the car mouth to mouth and has a moment of clarity where he realizes that he's being ignorant and that he's just reading into things that aren't really there and getting his family in danger and wrapped up, it makes me wonder if they just... Are they like... Did they just gain consciousness? Like, are they...
Like an NPC or something?
Or something?
Something, yeah.
And it also makes me wonder if their house is actually a home for, like, mentally disabled people, and none of them are actually related, and they're all just in a shared delusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Maybe.
Or am I thinking too much about trying to make sense of why these people exist?
It's hard to tell. Because some of it kind of felt like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Like, Pee-wee was... He wasn't, like, slow, but he was like a big kid.
Yeah. He was very childlike.
Everyone loved him.
He was a G, too.
Yeah.
When he thought someone stole his bike, he fucking went to his neighbor's house and started whooping ass, dude.
He wasn't fucking around about that.
That's crazy.
But, like, everyone the surrounding people didn't seem to. Would you say like they had a problem with them or something?
No.
They thought they were dumb, but they didn't really They didn't seem like they didn't like them.
It was no.
Yeah.
Even his neighbor was friendly to him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you live next door, Stanley.
Yeah.
He just. You can tell he has to deal with this guy a lot, but
Yeah.
he's not bitter about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe they aren't like wreaking havoc. They're just.
Shit happens.
Which leads again into is that actually a home for disabled people?
Mm-hmm.
And the people are just being empathetic?
Man, I don't know. It's really crazy.
Another thought I had is that maybe the movie wasn't made necessarily to be a full narrative. Maybe it was just a bunch of vignettes and ideas that they had.
Yeah.
That they put it on the backdrop of these stupid people just to play it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't quite like a slice of life. It felt like a series of vignettes, even though there is an underlying cohesive narrative. I was trying to figure out why did they make this?
That's my biggest question.
Yeah, like what are we doing with it? Where are we going? Like, what's the point?
Why is David Cronenberg in it?
Yeah, I got fired up when I saw him. I was like, okay, wait a minute. Like, what the fuck? Why, he just plays his boss and he's at the post office.
Yeah. He says 2 words.
Yeah.
I understand why David Cronenberg has his cameo in Jason X. That makes sense.
Right, yeah.
Is he friends with John Landis? Surely they would have gone to like film school around the same time or
That's
something.
kinda what I was
They
thinking.
probably are.
Yeah.
Because I know John Landis
They were both huge at about the same time.
Like
and
in the 70s. Yeah.
and 80s. They're part of that whole like Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, fucking
Yeah.
George Lucas. Like they're all
They're in there.
part of that. Yeah.
I mean, he owns.
I think John
Bodyguard.
Landis is really good friends with like Brian De Palma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
John Landis has a cameo in Spider-Man 2. He's the surgeon at the that's trying to cut the arms off of fucking
Does he
Dr.
really?
Octavius.
I don't know
Yeah.
if That's crazy. That's funny.
I
My
know
favorite
that.
cop that. Yeah, I love Landis, man.
Oh, another thing I noticed is that the way the police are depicted in this movie, old school police with like revolvers and no body armor,
Yeah.
makes it very obvious that this movie was made pre-Hollywood shootout.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what militarized the police, and that kind of just clicked with me that that's an easy way to date movies. Did the cops have machine guns and body armor?
Yeah.
Or like a shotgun and like a revolver.
Yeah.
Like the most they would ever have is a shotgun. You know,
Yeah.
Unless you're like
A SWAT team.
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Speaking of old school cops, my son and I were watching Home Alone 2 Lost in New York recently, and he said, those old cop cars are really cool looking.
They are.
And I had to say, yeah, I remember when they still looked like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I like watching car chases in the 80s. There's
Yeah.
something about those
Oh,
old
yeah.
cars, man.
Yeah, they look cool. They're boxy
Yeah.
and still look slick, even though it's got like cop paint on it, you know?
It sounded cool.
Yeah. Because they all had V8s and carburetors.
Yeah. I care about the environment. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, you can't have those with Prius.
No.
I also the last thing I want to say about this movie, and this is the reason that I think that the stupids. So we all watch Red Letter Media.
Mhm.
Have you guys both watched the review that Mike and Jay made about Freddy Got Fingered?
Yeah.
Where Mike Stoklasa posits that as dumb as that movie is, it remains brilliant because the entire movie is a metaphor for the making of the movie.
Yeah.
Where some idiot gave Tom Green millions of dollars and he made that with it.
Yeah. He makes fun of her in the middle of the movie.
Yeah. I bought jewels.
I saw that.
Well, he's
review.
looking at the camera.
Yeah.
That movie came out when I was in high school, and I loved Tom Green. I thought he was fucking great. And watched it, and I was like, man, this is just crazy. On a face level, I enjoyed it because that
Absolutely.
I'm the demographic. And then I never really thought about it again until I saw their review, and I was like, wait, this could be really. So I watched the movie. I was like, dude, this is fucking.
That's what it is.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, that is over the span of like 20, 25 years. Like,
Yeah.
that movie, like, it's unreal.
So I kept getting vibes of that from The Stupids.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be a secret, brilliant movie on some level.
Mm.
And the conclusion that I came to, and I have it written down here, is that The Stupids is a strangely accurate satire of post-COVID lockdown America, where people are reading into unconnected things and forming irrational theories and affecting everyone around them.
I like it, man.
I like it. I like it.
The conspiracy shit made me think, like, oh, this does feel kind of
Yeah.
recent. Yeah. It's crazy.
And they're in their own echo chamber
Yeah.
of stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one,
Yeah.
because they bumble through things so much, no one even has time to understand why they're there.
Mm-hmm.
And in the final shootout at the end, the mom just like bending down while, you know, missiles go by her head and stuff is perfect example of that. Like, these people are completely unaffected by anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of beautiful. I admire it to a certain degree. Being aware and trying to learn everything is fucking hard.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's why people don't do it.
Yeah, the ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm.
It is. So,
Would you guys recommend this?
I would recommend it to people that like movies.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, to just anyone, but yeah, it's a very interesting movie.
Yeah,
I was very
it's interesting.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
that's really
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's all I really ask for of any movie I watch. Just
Yeah.
keep me interested.
You can be bad
Yeah.
when you're not supposed to be bad.
Mhm.
The biggest sin a movie can commit is to be boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, that's exactly right.
Some of my favorite movies are not considered good movies.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I've talked to Clayton about this, that because I grew up in a circle of people that we all enjoyed the same things, I never knew that movies like Tremors was not a good movie until I became an adult.
Right.
Yeah.
And people told me, no, that's not considered a good movie.
Yeah.
How is that not a good movie?
Right. Dude, it's entertaining. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
yeah.
it's, my favorite
Tremors
movie,
is a near perfect film. We can talk
It's
about that
great.
a different time.
It's a great movie, dude. My favorite movie of all time. It's not anything. It's not a deep cut. It's probably Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
I think that movie is brilliant. The review that they did on that was amazing. I've seen that one probably 20 times. I just love that movie. But movies like Hard Target,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that's a
yeah.
fucking great movie.
It was John Woo's first American movie.
Oh, is that right? His first American one. God damn. Man, that's been a long time now. Jesus.
When I went to New Orleans with him, I made a point to go to the sections of the French Quarter that parts of that movie were filmed in.
Oh, really?
Just
That's
to
cool,
have,
man.
just to have been there where JCVD was at one point in the past, you know?
Dude, I grew up on shit like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
yeah.
Bloodsport was the first movie I loved
Yeah.
as a kid. Like, I was like 5. You know? Fucking, Jean-Claude Van Damme. I thought he was the coolest.
The first movie I loved was the first Die Hard movie.
Mm.
And I was probably 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, that's a great one.
I would put on black slacks and a wife beater
Mhm.
and have my fucking plastic machine gun and dress up as John McClane to watch it, just like I would do for fucking Indiana Jones. You know, I'd put on my dad's cowboy hat and his leather jacket and watch the movie.
That's cool. That's cool.
Well, do you guys have anything to add?
Not of substance. I guess
Yeah,
I
no.
just highly ramble. But I think I'm good, man. Thanks for listening.
Thanks. If no one's listening.
No one's listening.